This is the Premier Pro 2021 Stabilization Test and Comparison. Thank you very much for joining me on this adventure as we explore the different options in stabilizing and comparing the stabilizations of various video clips using Premiere Pro 2021. So, the first clip that we are going to be comparing is a clip I took with the Canon 5D Mark II with the 70 to 200mm at 200mm. This is handheld and unstabilized. Obviously, this camera does not have built-in stabilization, and this is an older version of the lens, which also does not have stabilization. Despite my best efforts at staying still, as you can see in the video clip, there is quite a bit of camera shake present. Now we will compare the unstabilized footage with the Premiere Pro 2021 Subspace Warp Stabilizer and the Premiere Pro 2021 Position Scale and Rotation Stabilizer. Both of these stabilizers are set to their default settings of 50% smoothing with stabilizer, cropping, and scaling effects applied. And now, so that you can see the magic at work, we are removing the cropping and scaling effects from the stabilizing effect thing stuff. Now we will take a look at the different levels of smoothing have on the stabilizer effect using the Subspace Warp Stabilizer at 25, 50, and 100%. As you can see, there is not much of a difference between the 25 and 50% stabilizer. Okay, let's try something a little more dynamic. Here is some footage of my stupid little dog walking down the sidewalk. This footage is also taken with an unstabilized Canon 5D Mark II using the 28mm lens, handheld and unstabilized. As you can see, the stabilizer, both subspace and PSR stabilizer, crops considerably into the image. Once again, to see the magic happening in the background, here is the stabilized footage without the crop and scale effect. As you can see, these images are As you can see, the image is being moved to compensate for my walking gait. Good dog. Here is once again the Subspace Warp stabilized footage at 25, 50, and 100% stabilization. And once again, we can see that there is very little difference between the 25 and 50% stabilization, while as the 100% stabilization shows a dramatic increase in things. So what about the iPhone footage? Here we have some footage taken with my iPhone 10 using the standard camera. It is handheld and utilizes the internal hardware stabilizer of the iPhone. For whatever reason, Premiere has great difficulty in stabilizing iPhone footage. I believe this has something to do with the JPEG compression in the footage from the iPhone. Premiere had so much difficulty, in fact, that when I attempt to remove the cropping and scaling effect of the stabilized footage, the footage flew right off the screen. Here once again, the comparison of the Subspace Warp stabilized footage at 25, 50, and 100%. Notice how far in-zoomed Premiere Pro Stabilizer has to go to attempt to stabilize the 100% stabilization of the stabilizer. And at no point whatsoever was the stabilized footage able to remain in the visible screen when cropping and scaling were removed from the stabilization effect. Thank you very much for joining me on this adventure in stabilization with Premier Pro 2021. I hope to see you again in our next adventure with things